Hello, welcome back to the ADHD Agent Podcast. I'm Candace Holland, and I'm here because your brain deserves a bestie. Today is a special day because we have one of my very best friends, Gayla Bustos, and I'm so excited for you guys to get to know her. She is amazing, inside and out. She's so beautiful, so amazing.
Thank you.
So I'm excited for what we're going to share today. Tell
Okay.
us a little bit about who you are and how you got started on your real estate journey.
So I'm Gayla Bustos. I have been a real estate agent for 10 years, which is
That is crazy.
it's kind of crazy to think that I could have a career for 10 years, even though I am old. What else? I got into real estate 2015 when our house was going into foreclosure. My husband had just gone out of the army and we needed money. We had money, not a lot of it. And we decided, I needed to get a career at this point, got my license, got us out of foreclosure, and then built my career.
What made you pick real estate, like when you were kind of in that transition time?
That's actually a really good question. I had little kids at the time, and I needed to figure out a way that I could still take care of them and still make a lot of fucking money.
Mm-hmm.
Am I allowed to cuss on this? Am I allowed to cuss?
You're fine.
Okay, I should have probably asked that before. If you put a lot of time into your business, you're going to get it out. And that's like what I loved, because I was such a workaholic. Like, I'm going to put so much time into this and it's going to come back to me. And it did.
Yeah. That is one thing about you. Like, you really do go all in. Like, even sometimes we'll be talking about an idea and you're like, all right, I have the whole outline. I have the whole plan made. So you really do.
It's like my favorite thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. So like, if you have an idea, I'm like, okay, let's run with it. Let's do it. I will figure out the foundation of this. You put it together, but I'll figure out the foundation and then we'll freaking go with it.
I love that. I do think that's a really good skill that you have. And not my skill set, but definitely yours.
Thank you.
So has there been a time, you've been an agent for 10 years.
Yes.
Has there been a time where you can really pinpoint where you feel like your intuition spoke to you louder than maybe what was logically a good move, or, weighing pros and cons in your head versus trusting yourself? Was there one moment you can look at and be like, that was really stressful, but my intuition said to do this, and it ended up being a blessing after?
There's actually probably so many examples. When you're in real estate, you meet so many people, good, bad, and you really have to trust your instinct. And something you're actually really good at is you always trust your gut. And I actually really love that about you. I feel like when you first start out in real estate, you really do like have to go and trust your gut. And then as you become more jaded to people, you just are like, like, no, I'm cutting everyone off. And then so like seeing you now, I know this does not answer the question, but seeing you now do that, it's always like a good reminder of like, oh yeah, no, I need to trust my gut. And I would probably say with clients, I will know right away if I would want to work with them or not.
That's good.
I've had a few people that I'm like, ooh, especially when the market was so hot, you were able to be like, no, thank you. And that was like the best for my mental health and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And as you start to learn how to work with different types of people, you start to really see those red flags. And you're like, okay, you got to listen to your gut, because the times that I have not listened to my gut, those have been shit shows.
Yeah.
And you're just
I feel like the client one is huge too, because you really do kind of get where you're like, can I suck it up for a while? Because, realistically, you're only working with someone for a short amount of time versus, is it really worth the paycheck to do that? Especially like you said, when you're first getting started, you're kind of just like, you're doing whatever you can. You're taking any piece of business that you can. And as you go on, I think that probably is why a lot of people get burnt out too, is like, you're trying to work with everyone instead of the people who connect with you.
Yeah. And I always say like having clients or being in this type of business is like, as a mom, it's like having a bunch of kids and being like, mom, 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 mom. Like, they're always needing stuff, which is fine. But when it's not like the best of clients, or if it's one of those clients that seems to always, the world is burning, it does put a lot of stress on you. So listening to myself and being like, no, I can't. Sometimes you're just not in the right headspace either to take on those clients. And I'm like, hey, do you want this client?
Yeah, that's another thing, like being able to bounce off of each other. Me and you, I feel like, do that really well too. Is like, if we need help or we just need something off of one of our plates, we can call each other and be like, hey, I don't have the brain space for this right now. Can you help me with that? So
Yeah.
I think it's important to have people in your corner like that too.
Yeah. And I think it makes real estate a lot more enjoyable when you have people that you can do that with, and there's no competition, and you're just like, you can call me in a van and be like, this effing client did this, or this freaking agent did this. When you don't have that, I mean, you just get burnt out so much, and sometimes you just need a break.
So true.
You just need a break, and you just have to listen to your body. What did I call? Oh, I think the flood at one of my foreclosure. I called you like after it was like 9:45. I was like, I just had to take my second shower of the day because I just slipped and fell in a flooded house, in the dirtiest house too, the dirtiest house.
Yeah.
And I slipped, I fell, busted my ass, and then I was able to call you, vent, and like figure out what my next
And
step
then we
was.
just laugh about it.
And you just laugh about it.
What can you do? Yeah.
So yeah, listen to your gut. If the client, if you don't think it's gonna vibe, don't do it.
What would you think? Going back to knowing when you kind of need to take a break. We were talking about different seasons. How do you know when, for you, when it's time you're like, I just need a break, an actual break. I need to take a month off. I need to take a little bit of time off and just reset versus pushing through. How do you identify the difference for you?
So I noticed for myself, at least, I start to throw myself into a lot more crafts when I'm starting to get kind of burnt out of people. For me, that the crafting and like using my brain for something other than real estate has really also helped too my burnout. So I know the signs of like, okay, when I'm not wanting to answer my phone, when I'm wanting to not go see my friends or answer your guys' text, or going, not that I mean, I rarely go out, but when you guys do invite me out and I'm like, no, it's okay. Like, a bunch of times you're like, okay, what's going on, Gayla? So I've had to learn the hard way. I've told you, like, I've had to learn the hard way to listen to my body during that stuff, because it also can cause like depression. It can cause mania. It can cause like so many different things. And it can literally kill you. So I've seen it happen at my body. When I was at my most stressed, the same thing happened to me. My body was like breaking down, and I was just like, oh shit. Like, in the matter of a few months, I'm like, okay, I can't do this anymore. We got to figure this out. We're lucky enough that we can actually like put our business together the way that works for us. So if something wasn't working for me, I can change that and be like, okay, I mean, foreclosures, I work with tons of foreclosures, and those, I can like hit my head against the walls. After like 3 months, I'll have to take a break for a month of helping people, and then I can breathe and start doing it again.
Yeah. I do want to say that is one thing that I love about you too, is like, that's a really hard niche that you reach out to so many foreclosures and you try to help them, because a lot of people can't do that. You've been through a similar situation. You were able to save yourself. And I think it's really cool that you take that to other families, especially how taxing that can be. So what would your advice be for someone who maybe what they're passionate about, their niche that they choose to focus on, maybe is something that's a little bit more exhausting than maybe just going out and finding clients that are easier, if you will?
Yeah, so I would say I'm really big into systems.
Yeah.
I am Capricorn. I know you always laugh, and I'm like, oh, you're Pisces, so Pisces of you. Or so I love systems. Systems are my thing. So I have systems for everything, especially for my foreclosures, because they are so taxing. So if you do have whatever niche you're at, I mean, you can ask ChatGPT. They can come up with like a list of things for you to do for that niche, and kind of figure out what works best for you. I have 2 people that call my foreclosures every week and follow up with them, and then send it over to me when we do get response. And then I will sit there with the client and spend as much time with them to get them out. If you do have a niche, I would say keep going with it. You want to be the best in your niche. If it is foreclosures, you're going to take every single foreclosure class, not only once, but twice maybe. I don't know how many times I've taken those classes. I take them every year too, because things change all the time.
So true. Yeah.
Especially this year, we're seeing in foreclosures, we're seeing the craziest stuff. And we're able to do some crazy stuff too. Like, we were able to negotiate the bank to pay for a roof, which is like unheard of. Unheard of. I would say to everyone too, get a niche. You don't have to do it all the time. I don't talk about my niche all the time. I probably should. I'm getting better. It was come from a place of value.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to, unfortunately, I've saved too many homes where it's like, damn it. Like, why did I save this person's home? They were going to sell with me, but it's like, that's my goal.
Yeah.
Is to save their home. I would just say, again, be the best at your niche. Be educated.
Yeah. And
So
the education is huge. Me and you both, we're always looking for classes. We're never pretending to know everything. Do you
no,
think a lot of people are afraid to say that they don't know something? Like I can completely come to you with a question that I might be like, this is so stupid, but you never make me feel that way. And that's another thing of having the right people in your circle, is like knowing that they're a safe space where you guys
yeah.
do push each other, you support each other, you let each other vent, but then you also are like, okay, let's learn more about this. Let's fix this. Let's get better at it.
And that is so important in this
Yeah.
business because you don't want
And
to
it's like
talk.
you're serving your clients at such a higher level too, because you have all these people who have such different skill sets, such different problem solving skills. And it's like you get to take your client's problem and you get to bring it to multiple people too, if need
Yeah.
be.
Well, and when I owned Property Mommies, we used to always like one of our little sayings was like, "You get two for the price of one. You get two
Mm-hmm.
agents for the price of one." You know, and it was just like, yeah, if I didn't know, my business partner would have
Yeah.
known, or vice versa. And don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
And I think we're also very lucky
Yeah.
because we do have such a great support group of agents, our husbands, friends that are in the business or outside the business. So I would say build your village in that, and that is really going to help you survive. Having the support team is really going to help you build and bring your business to the next level.
Yeah,
And
because you
we're,
get kind of in your head and you have it's taking up space mentally, but then you have your emotions and you're like, okay, I need someone else who is not emotionally invested in this to
yeah.
help me navigate it.
Well, and sometimes like sometimes it's better to have someone looking out. Like
Yeah.
when we were on the team, it was easy for me seeing like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
this is what she needs for her team.
Yeah.
This is what this agent needs from talking to this. This is what your admin need. Okay,
Yeah.
and so getting help from our husbands or the support from like our friends or each other, it has definitely helped a lot.
Yeah. I agree with that
Because
a
real
lot.
estate is a lonely, lonely sport.
Yeah, it definitely can be. And it can be really easy to put yourself in an isolated position too, and you just kind of hide from the world. And then your business that shows, and then you're kind of in this cycle of like, I'm burnt out, but I want to be isolated, but I have to go work. I have to bring in a paycheck.
Gosh, I mean, that's like me the last 2 years,
Yeah.
right? I was depressed for a lot of different reasons. And then all of a sudden it's 2025, and I'm like, and my business was running. I
Yeah.
had all the systems set up. So yeah, it was running, but like I also wasn't working a lot of
Mm-hmm.
the systems. And then I woke up 2025 and I'm like, I gotta figure this shit out.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So speaking of partnerships, you had a business partner
yeah.
running your team together, and then you guys ended up dissolving the partnership. What is a piece of advice that you would give someone who is considering bringing a partner on board into their business?
Ooh, that's a good question. I actually thought about that last night. I was like, oh my gosh, she's going to ask me about that. I think most people would probably say, don't get a partner, don't get a
Yeah.
business partner. Do not, do not, do not. That's not true. Would I do one again? I don't know. Maybe not. I'm a teams girl. I don't like to work by myself. I want to work as a team. Bringing in the right person, I wouldn't say maybe friends, but putting the right person into the right position is good.
I love that you said that, because that's huge too. Just making sure that the person is fit for the role that they're going to play.
Yeah, and I was lucky enough to be working with my best friend, which made real estate so much better.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun. We got to hang out together. But again, we were best friends. And when we fought, like, you fight like family, and
Mm-hmm.
it comes in through the business. And it's just like, and we really did try our best to keep things separate. But everything just intertwines, right? Like, I mean, I was spending more time with her than my husband, but partnership is so hard. Someone's always going to feel like someone's working more. There is going to be some type of resentment. That was something huge in our partnership, was resentment. I won't talk about how she feels. I'll talk about what I did wrong in the partnership, or what I have reflected of what I feel like I did wrong. And communication. Not that I sucked at communication, but I never wanted to bring up things that like were bothering me, because I'm like, maybe I'm being too sensitive, or I don't want her to have to stress about that, which actually is kind of weird because it kind of comes up into a real life, like right now. I don't want people to worry about me and
Yeah.
things like that. So then that would a resentment on me of like that I was holding, that was pretty crazy. And then at the end, you're just like, you freak
Yeah.
out and take it out on people. So partnerships, they're hard. One thing I loved about us is that we had our roles, and we had our jobs, which made it a lot easier. My job was basically the agents and the training and the marketing And whatever we were both passionate about, we were able to kind of, I mean, she wasn't passionate about the finances, but someone had to handle it. And I was like, it's not going to be
Yeah, it's
me.
like some parts people naturally just fall more into. So you're like, okay, that can be your thing.
Yeah. So it was something like that. I mean, we had the best times, we had the worst times together. So if you are going to do a partnership, you want to make sure it's someone that you do trust. I think that's another big thing is trust. And I trusted her with my children, my life. If she were to call me today needing something, of course I would be there. And I know she would too. So there's no like hard feelings there. But again, partnership is so hard. So I would say just be careful of who you surround yourself with, who's in that person's circle as well is pretty big. There's just so much. I learned so much with that partnership about this business, about people. You met me, I think, you met me after I had already left.
Yeah.
And that's when I was really like, F everyone, I'm just going to be by myself, and became really lost because like once we separated, I was like, who am I? Like, who am I without her? What am I going to do with this business? It's been 2 years and I'm just now finally, I feel like getting out of that funk, getting out of the house and like not isolating myself, which I do. I isolate myself a lot. And I'm so thankful for you and like all the women in friendship I have gained in the last 2 years, because you guys have actually really helped me not be embarrassed. I was embarrassed for having like a failed partnership. I was embarrassed for so many different, like the ego in me, it's the ego, because we felt like since the moment we started Property Mommies, every single person was like, this is going to fail. You guys don't need to be in business together. Like partnership fails. Do I still believe that? I think I've seen a few partnerships where they've been like great, and I never want to put that on anyone, but it's fucking hard.
Yeah. It makes me a little emo because I love you so much. And I feel like literally from the first time I met you, you were very clear on like, I don't really have friends. I don't go out. Over the past 2 years. We've gotten so close and I'm grateful for that.
Me too. Well, but you really have helped. And I always mean to text you about it, but then I'm like, I feel so emo, because I do want to text you, like, thank you. Like, thank you for reminding me that it's okay for me to post about my business, because I was so embarrassed and I didn't know what to say to people. And I didn't know. I mean, you saw people would just come up to me and just like try to bring it up or try to talk shit. And I'm just like,
you don't ever.
I tried. It's so easy to, but that's not the type of person I want to be. And if I want to be like a girl's girl, I have to do it. Like I have to model that for not only me, but for my friends or for whoever. And I thank you, because again, you even just you posting stuff too and like not caring, that I remember being like that and I loved it. And then when I finally kind of, I don't know what happened to me, life happened, and then I was just like, oh, I can't do that again. It's my ego. And then
which gets worse when you're isolated too. I just don't care if I follow my face. A big reason for that is because I do have you and a couple other friends where I'm just like, even if I fail at my business completely, if I decided not to be in real estate anymore today, my friends would still be there, would still support me on my next journey. Like it wouldn't matter. And so that is such a huge part, just having the right people where it doesn't matter where you work, what you do, what you're going through, that they're still going to be there for you. And it takes a lot of pressure off of whether or not people are going to approve, or, if someone's going to judge you. It's like, it doesn't matter because I have my people love and care for me.
And I think that has helped me heal over the last 2 years. A picture came up on my like iPhone. It was the first time we all met. And I was just like, wow, look how young we are. And it was only 2 years ago.
I know.
And then two, I'm like, gosh, like look how much we all have grown.
Yeah, so much. It's crazy.
In our business, in our personal lives, in our friendships. I'm actually the lucky one to be able to look and see, like, wow, look at all my friends. Like if they can do it, I can do it too. One thing we talked about this year when we were like crying on the phone is like pivoting.
Yeah.
When we're all just like so scared, and
That's become one of my favorite things.
Pivoting. Yeah. And you called me like, I think I need to tell you something. And I'm like, what? And whatever it was. And I'm like, that's okay. We're just going to pivot. Like we're just going to change and we're going to pivot. That's part of this business. And hopefully that's like a good reminder to you. And I have to tell myself that too. Sometimes it's like, okay, Gayla, that didn't work. Let's pivot. And that's like the beautiful thing about real estate too, is that you are able to pivot.
entrepreneurship and just being able to like turn things, change things however you want. That is one reason I love it so much, is like you really can just wake up and decide to do something different if it's not working for you.
Yeah, and now that's this year. I think both of us have been trying to like figuring out like what it is, and you've helped me a lot because with me being lost with like who am I without Property Mommies, I put everything into that brand. That brand was me. That brand was my business partner. Over the last like month, I'm like, okay, I think I know what I want. So I've been slowly starting to kind of make a little master plan for 2026.
I love that.
And trying not to be scared of it.
Yeah.
You know, and being like, it's okay if I fail. And like everything's about numbers and everything's about money and everything's about this. And I'm just like, then I must suck. But it's like, no, Gayla, you give everything to each one of your clients. You do what's right. How many times have I called you and you're like, who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares if they say that about you? And I'm like, okay. You know, it's like my ugly cry face.
Yeah, but we can't do too much because of our Botox.
I mean, I'm still
I feel like
ugly.
it makes me an uglier crier because my face is the same. Kim K thing has never been more relatable.
Yes.
What boundary have you set, or maybe there's been a couple that has changed your life or your business that maybe wasn't a hard rule for you before, but now you're like, this is non-negotiable for me?
One, listening to my body.
Yeah. Because you know more than anyone that stress can physically affect you. And that's one thing I'm not very good at, is because I'm like, oh, I'll drink water one day. Like I'll do this one day. You've been really reminding all of us, you have to take care of yourself. You have to get rest. You know, you have to take care of your body.
Yeah.
And so your voice has been in my head lately about that.
Good. Well, especially as women and moms, women that they're in their 30s, I guess, or older, like, hey, this is their time. Like, we have to take care of our bodies. One thing that I really sucked at, even as a business partner and when I had Property Mommies, and I'm really trying now, is ask for help when I need it. That's a huge, huge, huge thing that I was so prideful. And again, the ego thing was huge. And like, I don't need help. I don't need anyone. Putting those boundaries on myself, it's like more boundaries on myself of, okay, Gayla, you know you can't do this, or you can do this, but you know you're going to need help. Suffering in silence is not okay. It's not, or it's not that it's not okay. It's just like, you don't need to. So if I need to go paint a house, instead of blah, 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 I can be like, hey, Candace, do you want to go have a paint party and then us go have fun while doing it? You know, asking for help. And I don't know if you would call them boundaries, but like those are things that those are non-negotiables for me, like for myself. As far as like business wise, that's kind of a hard one. Truthfully, the last 10 years, I have learned how to put boundaries up, because if not, people do take advantage of that. Yeah. And when you have such a good heart, when you always come from a place of value and a place of you wanting to help, people do take advantage of that. Yeah. I have to figure out, like, is this something, before I open my mouth, is this something I can do? Is this something I'm going to want to do? So going above and beyond, but like also understanding that I don't need to kill myself over it.
It makes it kind of harder mentally sometimes too, because your client doesn't know, you know, like we'll sacrifice so much and then the clients don't know everything that's going into it. So you're like, a lot of times it kind of feels like they're not even happy. You know, like I've sacrificed everything in this deal. I'm giving my money, my time, my family time, my emotions. And then they're just like, okay, what's next? And so I feel like that can also build some resentment and burnout too.
Letting it roll off, giving myself 24 hours to be like upset about something, like I didn't get a listing or this client's an asshole. And then maybe giving myself like another day to kind of like think about it and like think about how I could have done better in the situation.
Yeah.
And then letting it roll off.
It goes back to what you said too about, you know, being choosy about who you're working with, because once, you know, when you're first starting and you're kind of taking all those deals, you don't really know, you don't really see kind of like red flags, if you will, or if someone's not a good fit for you. But then as time goes on and you get busier and your business is getting built, and then you're trying to balance your family time, your personal time, your friend time, your mom time, you're trying to balance all of these things. And then some clients just don't click well with you. And I don't know if you feel the same, but I have found that like the clients that I don't really click with, at the end of the day, I don't feel like either side is feeling the most amazing, you know, because it's just, if you're butting heads the whole time, or a lot of times if it's like a client is just coming at you, because sometimes they do come in and they act like you owe them every ounce of your mental space. It's like they're texting you at 11 o'clock at night. They're wanting you to come to their house in 20 minutes. And it's just, sometimes emergencies happen, of course, but it's like
Right.
those clients that are just demanding. And sometimes it feels like you're not being treated like a person. Those really get to you. So I feel like that ties really well into that boundary of picking and choosing what is right and what's not, and what client's right for you and what client's not.
I mean, gosh, I have clients that their kids are the same age as my kids, and we both moved here around the same time or whatever, and now our kids are graduating, and oh God, it's so sad.
It is so crazy to see them over the course of time. And then the clients that you bond with and stuff, it's like, it makes working exciting. You're just like, I
Yeah.
love you so much. I want to take care of you. I want to give you every ounce of everything that I have, and
Yeah.
it makes it so special.
I'm also the ones that they call me first or maybe second. I don't know, when they find out they're pregnant. And I'm like, we're
It's
crying
so
together.
special.
And it's
Yeah.
so special. I always joke, oh, you're naming the baby after me, right? So far no one has named their baby after me, sadly, but it is a goal of mine.
We'll get there. So nationwide, it's been a really tough year in real estate for a whole lot of people, especially
Yes.
coming down from COVID times. And it's like really hard hit. What would you say to someone who is maybe newer, maybe came into real estate the past couple of years and they're really struggling right now? Or maybe someone who's been in the business for a long time and is in that same position where this year they feel like they just can't get their head above water. What would your advice be?
I'd say you're not alone. I've been an agent again for 10 years and I feel like I can't get my head above the water this year for whatever reasons. What I would tell a new agent is congratulations. Like, this is the best time to get into real estate. This is the best time to learn.
I love that.
And this is the time to do it. And I tell my kids, like, especially because we are in a recession, let's get it. We're in a recession. So I'm like, this is where all the millionaires and billionaires are made, guys. Like, this is when we start putting our heads down and start working hard. And my kids just roll their eyes at me because they're just like, whatever, mom. This is the time we need to start like working, building your brand, building your business. Like, you have time now. You can build your systems. You're not showing houses. Oh gosh, in 2020, the amount of clients, like I didn't even like see houses really. I didn't even handle a lot of buyers, but like we were making so much money. We were closing deals. I had never seen the house. Where it's like now we're
We see the house too many times right now.
I'm like, I'm tired of this house already. Where's the next one? For the older agents, it's okay to pivot. It was really hard for me to learn that. I'm embarrassed this year for my sales, but there's nothing I can do. And all I can do now is, instead of, I want to be depressed and sad and like cry in my room, but you guys won't let me. So I am just like, hey, cool. I have next year. I have to also remind myself it's okay to have a shitty year in real estate. Comparison is like a thief of joy. Even sometimes I see you and you're such a badass agent in person, and I'm like, I wish I could be like Candace, like comparing myself to you. And I'm like, I have to get myself like, nope, Candace deserved this. She's done everything this year. Like, can I say that? No, I can't. You have to be real with yourself. Like, can you really say that you put all your work in?
That's so true. Sometimes we have to be like, okay, am I actually putting in the effort to get the reward that I want?
Right.
Just taking a step back and
that was me because I didn't know.
hurting our own feelings.
Yeah, no, seriously. Did I really put 100% into my business? No, I didn't. And to be honest with everyone, I didn't really know what to do with my business. I was just like, I was kind of just like floating and just trying to be like, someone catch me, someone like figure this out for me. And unfortunately, no one's going to do it but yourself. And again, been lucky to have great friends to be like, to help figure out what I want to do. How am I going to pivot my business this year and next year? And gosh, I really have been so lucky to have the support of my friends to get me through this the last 2 years, because who knows where I would be? Who knows if I would even still be in real estate? But like, I love real estate. I love helping people. And what other job can you do where you can pivot like this and make a business for yourself and for your family? Not saying that you're not going to be working like crazy hours, because you are. Again, whatever you put in, you're going to get back. But I think agents need to learn to pivot. I think agents need to learn how to ask for help. I do love the people that I work with and my clients, and getting motivated by other people. Like, too many people, they have all these ideas, which is great, but they don't execute them.
Yeah.
Next year, I'm just going to just throw shit at the wall and see if it sticks. And if it does, I'm going to keep going with it.
Yeah.
You know, with the mindset of, I got this. Who cares? I have people that have my back. And that, I think that's another, again, having people that have your back, that no matter what.
Yeah. A lot of people throw out the collaboration over competition quote. Like we see it everywhere all the time, but I don't think enough people actually take time to think about that and think about what it means. Because when you do put yourself out there and you connect with the right people, it will take you so many different places. You know, you never know who you're going to connect with that will completely change the trajectory of your life and your business and your friendships and all relationships. Get in the room. You know, if you're isolating yourself, which is so easy to do, like we talked about, you're not going to be in the rooms with the people who are going to be your support system, who will change your business, change your life because they inspire you or because you learn from them. And, you know, not all people we learn from, we're learning from the good. You know, sometimes we learn who we don't want to be like.
And we've also learned that this year,
we have, yeah. And so it's like you really have to put yourself out there and connect with the right people. And it's just like you said, we've all changed so much in the past couple of years. And it really is just because we chose to go to a business conference, not even local. We had to drive a couple hours to get there, you know?
I know.
And we put ourselves in the rooms.
Yeah. And even then I was like, bye guys, I'll see you guys never.
Yep. So get in the room.
And I need to remember one thing I need to remember, and I probably need you to remind me, is when I'm in those rooms, it's okay for me to talk and it's okay for me to like shine. I think for many, many years, and this has nothing to do with my old business partner, this has to do with me, but I had a huge light and I dimmed myself for so long because I didn't want to overpower her. She's very more self-spoken, where I'm like, what up, motherfuckers? And I would have to like pinch her to talk and things like that because I did take over, and I never wanted her to feel that way, that I was like taking over. So I dimmed and she never asked me to, but I did. I dimmed myself for her. And so I have to remind myself that I don't need to dim myself anymore. It's okay for me to be seen and it's okay for me to be heard.
I'm so glad you said that. I've been thinking something so similar the past couple months. There were a lot of times where I felt like I had to dim myself too. And just to kind of not make anyone else feel uncomfortable, which sounds kind of weird to say because you're like, I sound like I'm trying to sound like I'm the best person on earth and I'm so amazing, but it's really not. That same person who has to dim themselves in one room will naturally be dimmer in another room because they're elevating themselves. And so it's like if you feel like you have to dim yourself, then you're probably in the wrong room, because we should go into rooms where we feel like, man, I think I could dig out a little bit more and shine a little bit brighter in here. And so this year I've definitely been working on shifting my mindset where I'm like, if I have to feel like I have to make myself smaller, if I have to dim my light, if I'm forcing other people to be leveled up and putting myself down, that I'm just in the wrong room.
Yeah. And I think we've seen that. I mean, I've seen your growth with that too over the last year with all the stuff that we have all gone through. We try our best to not dim other people, like other women. I should be so much further than what I am right now. You know, like, again, I know you don't ever compare yourself, whatever, I get it. But like seeing where I'm at and where you're at, and I'm like, wow, like she's talking, she's doing these talks now, she's doing these podcasts. And I'm like, that's what I want. Like, I remember wanting all this, but like, I am just so proud. I'm going to raise you up. I'm going to share your stuff. I'm going to be there when you're at your conference and you're talking to these women. I'm going to scream your name out. I'm going to be proud that you're my friend, and not comparing. Because like we're in the same business, but we're in the same market, but we still have two different businesses, you know? And even if we did have the same business, I want the best for you.
I do think we bring out the best in each other. I was trying to save so many relationships in the beginning of the year because I care so much about other people's happiness and them feeling good and confident in their business and all these things. And I noticed that some people were bringing out worse versions of me, but it was like I was putting myself in positions where I had to do that to make someone else feel better. When I'm with people like you, or when you're in the right room, you don't feel like that. You're with people who bring out the best in you, and it just circles around and you're like, wow, we're all just able to focus on our business, focus on our family, focus on our friendships and other relationships and really elevate each other without even having to feel like you're forcing it or pulling it along. It's like it happens so naturally.
Yeah, and not feeling that resentment, which is
Yeah.
huge. And like, I've tried to be as honest as possible when it comes to like my friendship breakup and partner breakup, of how I felt during it and what I did wrong during it. And I don't want to ever be in that position. But I also don't want anyone, my friends, to be in that position. And I had a lot of resentment towards my business partner, towards not just her, but to the business itself. I spent all these years building this business, putting it before my family, putting it before my health, putting it before my mental state, and then having it all crash down. It's like, I'm so proud of you. Seeing you talk in your pink little outfit, but seeing you up there and knowing like that was one of your goals, and just like, wow, we can do this. So whatever goal we have, we can do this. We have built and become the people that we want to become, and we're still becoming. Like, let's get real. Like, are we perfect? Kind of, but like, but being able to build myself into the person that I want to be, because of you and all of our other friends put me on this like high pedestal.
We're front row friends. We're going to be at the front row of every single person's thing. My friends are always going to show up for me. They're always going to be in the front row. And so I feel like
no matter what,
that's what you got to find. You have to find your front row people, and then you have to be that for them as well.
Yes. I think that's why we are such good friends, because when I need you, even when I don't think I need you, you're there, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So,
is there anything else that you have that you feel like you need to share?
Big things are happening. I'm excited. You don't need to be number one all the time.
Yeah.
Which is hard for me, because I was always taught, like, if you're going to do something, you're going to be the best at it. And
that's a good point too, because sometimes being the best at something doesn't come in a specific type of recognition, reward, or being number one on a checklist. Sometimes being the best at something is more hidden. How are you serving people? What kind of impact are you making, and not getting caught up? So I think a lot of agents do that too, is get caught up on rankings. And it's like, but is that even your goal? What is your goal? Are you on track for that? Are you happy? Are you making the impact that you want to make? Because the other stuff is just, it's just fluff.
Right. And it's exactly what you said. It's fluff. Again, don't compare yourself to others.
Yeah.
And it's hard. I don't know if you do.
I'm a lot better now. I definitely did really, really bad for a long time, because before I was an agent, I was a stay-at-home mom for 11 years. And so I got my real estate license when I turned 30. And so I worked at home part-time throughout that time, but I was like, I'm so far behind. And I just felt like I was never going to catch up with anyone, because I was like, everyone else has their degrees now and they've all been in their career for several years. And I'm like just starting. And so I had to reframe my thinking on that. And so now I think, as far as compare myself to others, I like to look at people who are doing what I want to do and learn from them. Like, if I want to go here and they've already went through this journey, like, what can I learn from them on what they did wrong? What can I do better? What can I do differently? And kind of do that. As far as comparing numbers, I think it just helps that I'm not a competitive person that way. So I don't really look at charts or like rankings and things. I'm not a numbers person. So I think that helps me a lot in this industry. But
And how lucky is that, though?
Yeah, it's very beneficial at times. But seeing the back end of things, like I think me and you both have seen so many things behind the curtain, that stripped out a lot of my comparison, because I was like, wait, I thought this person was here doing these things, but their marriage is falling apart and they don't see their kids, and like they're in extreme financial crisis and all these things, which is totally fine. Everybody's on their own journey. I was looking at them, that's where I was striving to be. But then behind the curtain, it's like, when you're starting to compare, picking up on, okay, what am I comparing though? What do I think they have that I don't have? And if it's something that's achievable, then why can't I learn from that? You go from there. So I think it's just like reframing what that comparison means,
Well, and we say this a lot, like, why would we be jealous of someone that we wouldn't want to change their lives?
Right. Yeah.
I know this year was so hard on my mental, great, climbing out of my mental stuff finally. And then trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my business, and then health and all this other stuff. I'm like, I still wouldn't want to change places with anyone else.
Yeah.
Like,
and those hard years are building you. You had other things happening this year where maybe your numbers weren't the best ever, but you're focusing on your physical health, you're focusing on other things, and you've built so many relationships. And I can tell that you've grown so much in just feeling safe with people. Like that was one thing I noticed about you, like right away, is you didn't feel safe with other girls. And so being able to see you grow in that way has been really awesome because, so like maybe your numbers aren't where you feel like that was the best ever, but I think everything else that you've been through the past couple years is so much more than that.
Yeah, I'm finally kind of slowly seeing like the other side. And that's kind of like, oh wow, cool. So I can kind of sit there and be like, okay, this is what I did wrong. This is no one else to blame. Like, I'm only going to blame myself for these actions. Starting to feel safe again with people like that. When you said that, I almost like cried. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Something great about you is that you were so good at being like, okay, this is my red flag, I'm out. Like, okay, well, you might have let like 2 red flags go because you're like, okay, red flag, but no one's perfect. And then you're like, second red flag, okay, I'm done. And I'm like, wow, to be able to do that, you don't see that a lot, especially with women, and especially with women in this business where we all just want something. Like, we just need that friendship. We don't want people to hate us. Like, what if we have to work with them in the future? And you just being kind of really cool about it. You were just like, okay, she told me who she was. I'm going to believe her this time. And then walking away. For me, I probably would have waited till she like punched me in the face and been like, but please love me, like, so, that again, I'm learning from you. I've seen that, be like, wow, she does have a lot of respect for herself. And that's like something I would want, something I would want my kids or my daughter or even myself, my mom, I'm like,
I think it makes it easier too whenever you do have a great circle and that's what your standard is for yourself. And then if someone can't meet that, then it's like we don't have to associate. We're just not compatible, and that's okay.
Yeah. Well, but it's great to see that.
Yeah.
So thank you. Because it was a great reminder, again, to me as I'm going through this. Like, Gayla, it's okay if you're not feeling it. You don't have to be friends with people or.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That's
I'm
amazing.
so happy.
I love you so much.
I love you.